I'm not asking about you. I'm asking about Korean people in general. And the last one is a ramyeon package. So
Oh my God.
pay next time. Most of the time.
Do you want to comment?
No comments.
Be quiet, please.
1, 2, 3.
Paul, sorry.
Out.
I'm sorry, but maybe cut you. Really? I mean, seriously, you don't ask
What do
that.
you mean by
No, it's not you. It's me. Okay. It's me. Okay.
But I think yes. That's all. Yeah. I think I got the message across. So
Shut him down. Shut him down.
He wants to hear
Yeah, I think music is
like it.
No pressure. I'm Jeanne from KYOOL. Today, you're not just going to discover startups. You're going to discover some people crazy enough to risk everything for an idea. So today we have from Connect, Ravi. Woo. From Taste It Better, we have Oyo.
Fast food.
From Arva Labs, we have Ashley.
Bacon. Okay.
And from Arva Labs, we have Denise. So today some will impress you and some will surprise you maybe. But today there's more than just a story unfolding. At the end of this journey, there's special rewards awaiting for our entrepreneurs. And nobody knows yet which will walk away with what. So one thing is certain, you will never look at entrepreneurship again the same way. And welcome to Korea Stories. And then every answer and every challenge, every moment earns points. And through those points will determine your position for the last final draw, where 4 sealed envelopes are waiting to be opened. Maybe 10 million won, or maybe a box of ramyeon. We don't know that. But first, let me introduce you to the jury, who will give points alongside me to all of these 4 startups. On my right, we have Paul from KSGC. So the program of GCC and I that made all of this possible. And our special guest, also alumni of honor, Shamal, who will also introduce himself. So he also went through that program before, so he also knows what it takes. And also I will take part of the jury. And can you please introduce yourself and what that program is about?
Well, thanks for the intro. Hi, my name is Paul from GCCEI, the organizer of the KSGC program. And the KSGC, the K Startup Grand Challenge, is Korea's flagship inbound program by the Ministry of SMEs and Startup. And it's for the global entrepreneurs around the globe who wishes to enter the Korean market. So through the program, we help the global entrepreneurs to enter, to scale and settle throughout the program. And in a nutshell, it's the easiest way for one to enter and scale in Korean market.
And then we have a special guest today, Shamal. Can you say a few words and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Shamal. I did KSGC in 2023. My company is called Yusha, and we help people automate their animation process so they can compete with studios. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. Also, we have 2 buzzers here in front of me. 2 sounds that you guys maybe already know. Yeah, you know what that means, right?
Yes.
Yeah, quick, and then...
Be quiet, please.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's him. The reason we prepare that is because I know you guys talk a lot. So if I need to stop you guys, because we have some time that we need to respect. So if I need to stop you guys, I will use these buzzers in front of me. So now, first part of our show, we have 99 seconds to tell your story, guys. We will start with like a rock, paper, scissors to know who goes first.
All right.
on 3.
It's just one time.
How do we
right?
do with 4 people? Okay, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, rock, paper, and then scissors, and then we do
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh.
Okay, so you saw
eliminate.
out.
And then you 2 do together.
Okay. Right.
One.
Scissors, paper.
Okay.
Okay.
Who goes first? Me or
Got
him?
it.
Who's the?
Yeah.
You go first.
I thought it was supposed to be the other way around because we
think
lost.
you're right.
Yeah, okay.
About my company. What we do. All right. Hi, I'm Dennis. I'm the CEO of Avolabs. At Avolabs, we provide AI-based language learning platform for educational institutions. Our platform is a global product, which we started initially in my home country, Turkey. Then we expanded to Germany and then Korea. Right now, our main customers and main market is in Korea. And what we basically do is we provide personalized learning for language learners. You can think like this. So in each country, there are different curriculums. So what we do is in our infrastructure, we get the curriculum from school and the data from student, like their levels, the ability of learning, etc. And we combine those two together and give each student an individual learning path, so which is perfectly matching with their schools and their needs. So that's all from us. Oh, well, I did a very good job. So thank you.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Reeves. I'm the CEO and founder of Arbor Labs. Arbor Labs was established nearly 1 year ago, in May of 2025. We initially set up the company in the European Union, actually in Estonia. And we started our journey across Asia Pacific. And from September, we have been in South Korea full time. Arbor Labs essentially is the future, we believe, of edge AI data security. And by edge AI, we mean offline AI scenarios. That could be in aerospace industry, in automotive, in energy, and more. I myself have a background in aerospace, so we've started our journey in the aerospace industry. And we came to Korea through the support of KSGC and started our journey here, collaborating with a multitude of companies, finalized through a very, very exciting pilot that we will be launching in September of this year. So, in a nutshell, what we do is secure AI, and we hope to see you on this journey of data security together with Arbor Labs. Thank you.
Hey, not the end yet.
10 seconds.
Good job, good job.
You have to clap for 10 seconds.
Okay. All right. Whenever you're ready.
Hi everyone, my name is Pirda Suphonpan, the CEO and co-founder of Tasted Better. And in Korea right now, we establish a company under Taste Vision Korea. So what we provide you is that we give you the world's lowest glycemic index functional flour that can replace normal wheat flour at a ratio of 1:1. So you can use our flour to make the bread, pasta, noodle, and instant noodle, like something like ramyeon. And if compared to the normal finished product like a bread, and compared to the bread that produced from our flour, we give you 5 times less of carbohydrate, 4 times higher of protein, and 7 times higher of fiber. And our flour and also our product is really suited for anyone with diabetes or the one that may have the diabetes and also the one that would like to lose their weight. So basically we established 7 years ago from being like a SME, the normal SME in Thailand. We have been built by one original co-founder who once weighed 130 kilograms and he would like to lose his weight. So he spent 1 year in order to discover all of the recipe and also the thing that good for his health. He's our CTO and he from that he lost 30 kilograms within 3 months by just eating the product that we have developed. And just very glad that you have us here. Tasted Better. Suck up.
Wow.
No one heard that. Okay, good.
All right, so let's go, Ravi.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ravi Shankar Pandit. I am the founder and CEO of Connect. And having lived in multiple countries and cities around the world, one thing is very common is that equality doesn't exist in travel and tourism. And what I mean by that is that, anytime you're traveling to a new country, you'll always notice that you're extremely in an unfamiliar territory. Now, I know that adventure is very important when it comes to tourism, but it can also cause a lot of heartaches. And that's what the journey has been with me. For about 30 years living in multiple countries, I found that it's so difficult to adjust. And Korea is probably the place where I felt the most problem. Language barriers are just so important here in Korea that it just kind of stops you from doing any activity. And that's why we built Connect, so that foreigners like myself entering into an unfamiliar territory can feel right at home from day one. And this is how it works. You come to our app, Connect, you search for what you're looking for, and with just your passport, let me repeat, with just your passport, you can access all of Korea in your language. This is the first time in the world that there's going to be an AI onboarding system with a passport. So welcome, and I hope that you travel more. Thank you.
Wow. Very concise, very concise. I'm surprised.
Is that going on?
Maybe. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, no, I think also the fact that when they first had entered the program, it's been at least a year now since then. And, we've seen you guys all kind of grow through the program and also mold your business model and also strategy in Korea. So I think it was meaningful for me to see, what has developed under the program and under the time in Korea.
May I add something to that? Am I allowed to?
Yes,
sure.
Please.
So actually, I was speaking with one of my college or my childhood friends, and I was telling he's known my entire journey in Connect, and so when I was explaining to him, let's say a year prior to KSGC, and then after KSGC, and I was telling him that, hey, he's like, are you still working on that? And I said, yeah, of course, I'm working on it. He's like, okay, can you explain to me again about what you're doing? And I explained it to him. And his reaction was that, I think now you're very clear about what you want to do. I said, no, I've always been clear. He's like, no, you have not been. So I think that's what KSGC has brought, like clarity in the direction.
What do you think, Shamal?
It's really cool to see the different teams that people have here. The fact that we have, tech, we have food, we have tourism, and we have education. It's pretty cool to see what everyone's doing, working on. So, and you guys are all super impressive. So,
thank you so much.
Likewise.
Okay, now let's go on to the next phase. Now, what we want to know is what it's actually like to live in Korea and to build your startup in Korea. So my first question to everyone is how did you first hear about KSGC and how was the application process like?
To tell you frankly, actually, my year was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So this is the deadline, right? I only know 1 day before the deadline.
What?
And then I just submitted. I spent 4 hours, submitted it.
What?
So basically, Korea, we didn't really have an intention to come here at all. Yeah, since our day one. But we got we will under so the one big chaebol, the one big company in Korea would like to invest in us. So they did 1 year of due diligence, and we just made the final decision that we will not go with them. But then after that 1 day, there is this KSGC announcement coming to me, and then another day I just submitted it just like that.
Wow. What, 4 hours is tough.
Yeah, and you made it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who to judge.
We better revise our application.
So you only have only one month of the
month and a half.
announcement. So basically, Tasted Better is the first Thai startup with a Thai co-founder that got selected into top 20. And also, we also the first Thai founder that got invested initial funding from the Korean VC, the venture capital. Yeah.
How about you guys? How did you discover the program? How did you apply?
Well, maybe I can go because ours was different than yours. We applied twice. I mean, it
Twice?
took. But the first year,
Two different companies, same name?
Not just. Oh yeah.
Some shady practices.
Yeah. Be quiet, please. I'm talking. Yeah. We actually had the product like very early MVP, and in 2024 we applied with that. But unfortunately, we didn't get it because back then the traction was also very low. But in 2025, because we decided to go Korea, like it was a very competitive market. Like if you want to do something globally, I think Korea was the real test market for us, especially for education. So that was very like we said, oh, we have to do it here. And then, well, obviously that when you search in Korea, the K Startup Grand Challenge, you can see in pretty easy. So then we applied again, and luckily, we got selected, and the things went very well for us after the program. So thankfully for all of you guys. So we launch here. We have now right now a team, 4 full-time Korean employees. We got invested also from Spark Labs, and then scaling very fast actually here in Korea. Like we're partnering with very big institutions. So lucky for us, yeah.
Yeah, good path
Thank you.
too.
Yeah.
How about you, Ashley?
Yeah, I mean, our story was quite interesting as well. I set up the company in May of last year. We got some initial grant. We won a prize. And then I was visiting a conference in Latvia, and one of my friends, Latvian friend, he mentioned, oh, you have a lot of engagement. You do a lot of stuff in Asia Pacific. Have you heard of this program, K Startup Challenge? I'm applying for it. And I said, no, I don't know, what is this? So he said, why don't we apply together and maybe we'll go to Korea together? And so that was quite exciting. I thought, okay, why not? So I applied. Fortunately for my friend, he didn't get through.
Fortunately?
Unfortunately.
I also heard fortunately.
And so we came to Korea, and step by step we progressed, and then we realized actually Korea, because we do infrastructure, so we need hardware. And we realized that Korea is a fantastic place to manufacture and develop our hardware solutions. So we decided to stay and make Korea our manufacturing and R&D hub. And that's how we ended up in Korea.
Well, I think I had already been living in Korea now for a while. And I think a lot of people don't know, but I also applied prior. And then I was on the waiting list. So, I was just praying, please somebody drop out so I can get into the program. But I guess that was just like a blessing in disguise. And I think we just sharpened, I would say, our product, at least to a certain extent, that we did end up, getting selected, and of course, getting good results at the event as well. So I think for me, I had always known, I think, unfortunately, because I can't speak Korean, I'm always looking for English-friendly programs. And K-Startup is at the top. It's the flagship.
Even for us, I think it was probably through LinkedIn or something. I mean, I wasn't the one who saw someone sent us the link to KSGC, but we just applied, but we didn't think we would get picked because we're not really tech, we're like more K-contents related. But yeah, I think our advantage is more like that we are about Korean culture, so it was a little different with you guys. But everyone has a very different story, so that's what's
and
interesting.
And also one thing I remember is that, in the 2 years that I applied, even the format changed.
Yeah.
I think
every year it changes.
So I kind of witnessed the sudden format change from, like a hardcore document evaluation, and then suddenly it went to a video format. Suddenly it changed from 2-phase program to a 3-phase program, and then a post-phase program. So it was quite interesting to see. I mean, I saw it as an evolution in a good way.
What do you think KSGC looks at when they pick the teams at first?
Well, I think this is the evidence, of the four, even though it's 4 teams out of a couple of years batch, but it's a great example of how K-Startup Grand Challenge doesn't only focus on, like, for example, AI or IT, right? Because it has when it comes to selecting our startups, one of the key criteria that we look at is their willingness to come to Korea, right? Because one must want to come into the market and actually settle here to do business. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult if you just want to test the water or however it may be. So that's one of the things that we look at. Also, if the business model is relevant to the Korean market, right? Mm-hmm. You may create something that we didn't know that we had, but chances are, I think it's a lot easier when, something like this should definitely work in the Korean market. So. Those are some of the key factors that we see when we're choosing our startups. Also, that's not done by us, but by the, like 50, 80 people from that are actually in the industry currently, experts within, not only in IT sector, but, in many different sectors. As well as not only the industry, but VCs, ACs. We value everyone's perspective on that. So that's how we choose our startups.
Wow, like 50, 80 people in the community.
It's crazy.
Yeah. We have, it's an entire week of every day, 8 hours. So it's a big process. Yeah.
We're so proud of ourselves.
Yeah, you should.
That's true.
Had I known that you only applied a day in advance.
But we have like
maybe it was the judge who was just frustrated and he's just like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
But
good for you.
They selected good one because I'm still here.
That's good. That's good.
See?
Yeah, very good.
So how, when you applied and then you came to Korea, how was the first few weeks in Korea?
I mean, I've been in Asia for quite some time and I'd been traveling back and forth to Korea, so it wasn't a huge culture shock. But I would say that compared to maybe I'm from London, for example, I mean, you would go, if any fellow Londoners are going to be in a 2026 batch.
We hope.
We hope. Please apply.
Please apply.
You're going from a very multicultural city to a quite homogenous country, and with that there needs to be some considerations, of course, but then once you start settling in and you realize that it's of course incredibly safe, everyone's very friendly, amazing public transport, amazing food, so this is a very pleasant bonus on top of the fact that of course you're getting an incredible amount of support from the KSGC and the wider network. So, get your Google Translate or AI Translate apps, whatever you're using, get them all ready, and it's smooth sailing from there. So
what was the moment that you realized Korea was going to be harder or easier than you expected?
Oh yeah, then I can go ahead. Well, at the beginning, it was very tough for us. I mean, as a foreigner, I think, especially in the education sector, which is also, I think, conservative, similar to Oyo's case, it was pretty tough. So I thought we will never get any partnerships here or any schools. But then the point was, because we really dedicated to Korean market, like this is what we thought that to become successful in global. So then the things was like for us, it's been like we're in the market for a year. The first couple months was definitely super hard, harder than I thought. But then we hired the right people. So that was the changing point. So we hired like a very senior and expert guy in the area. And then we suddenly saw, okay, once it's cracked, within maybe the 3 months, we partner with 30 schools after launching. And then we see, because there was like pros and cons to, we understand the market and then develop our product further, because those 30 schools were giving us the feedbacks always. They were not super liking our product, to be honest, at the beginning. But like the good point was, they were using it and giving us feedback. So the iteration was very fast for us. And then let's say the first 3 months after hiring that executive here, we partnered with the schools. We got the feedbacks, and then maybe next 4 to 5 months, it was the developing phase. So we developed very fast to fit in the Korean market. And then just suddenly things went very well. After launching again, we partnered with like really big institutions here, also major banks, just any kind of educational place you can consider that is also publishers, I would say. So now things are good. So it worked out well for us. Just I think the point is that you really have to like fight very hard. There is a very big wall right there, but it's behind the wall is really big. So you really got to push it very hard, and then you can definitely get it.
I think we can all relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Sure.
When you said you were in the very beginning, after you come to Korea and was seeking for, because of the industry's characteristics being conservative and old school. So how did you? What was the first encounter with your, for example, the Korean senior? How did you convince him to join the company?
That's back then, like our company was more like kind of like a bootstrap, and our revenue was very low, to be honest. But the product and people were good. And I show like the first thing is how we met. Maybe it's can give some clue for people. But we met through LinkedIn. Okay, this is not a very common way in Korea, but luckily I had the chance. So and then the person, I showed the product, and then I said, okay, well, look, we're developing really fast, and this is what we have, and also we don't have really money to that we can spend on it. But then I think he was very convinced that the product was actually like getting very faster, and then there was he saw the potential in the market as well. The executive here, so then decided to work with us.
I think initially I came to Korea to do my master's degree, and I think I'm very quick to, I would say, decipher the environment. Let me say it. So when I came to Korea, I knew I'm never going to stay here. There were just too many barriers that I could see, so I never really wanted to stay here. And so I think that, but something changed. And I think this is where I became delusional, let's say. So my first startup event that I participated in, I won in Korea. And so I thought that's it, unicorn 1 year, that's it. That's all I need, And I think that my expectations from that event, I expected that everywhere that I pitch, I will just kill it. So every time I pitched at events, failure. And I think that it was all because of maybe that one episode, that everything just ended up seemingly even more difficult. My God, why? How did I win that but not win this and this? Why am I just keep failing? So I think for me, that was what was really tough. And of course, when you get rejected from events or let's say competitions, nobody gives you feedback like, oh, this is actually why we don't choose you. So I think that was also a problem. Like I was not really receiving any feedback. And I think I can completely relate to what Dennis is saying because, from the university that I studied at, I met my alumni from the same university. And then he started to give me guidance that, Ravi, this is your pitch deck? Oh, it's horrible. I said, what? It's bad? Well, what should I do? And then he started to give me advice. Hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And then I think I started to really understand the environment. oh, this is what investors think. Oh, this is what companies think. So I think that was what's extremely tough for me to kind of realize, because I come from a complete finance, marketing, advertising world where it's like, if I like it, I will invest tomorrow. But that does not happen here in Korea. And so I think it was just that one situation really made me realize how tough the environment here is in Korea. And then, of course, as Dennis mentioned, if you are persistent, you will get through, but you must be strategic.
That's true. I agree too. Okay, so we will insert a video now, and then I will follow up with the next question.
Hello, this is Ashley Reeves. It's a very beautiful morning here in northern Seoul. And I'm going to walk you through what I usually do, the very first thing I usually do early in the morning. Check this out. Now, come with me and I will take you to the first activity that I typically do every morning. All right, so this is basically the start of my normal morning routine here in Korea. First thing after I wake up, coffee, always coffee. And one thing you quickly realize in Korea, coffee culture here is absolutely everywhere. So I'm heading downstairs. What's funny is I don't even need to leave my building complex to get a coffee. In Korea, cafes are everywhere, literally every few meters in some areas. We've got premium cafes, tiny independent cafes, 24-hour cafes, and then these massive budget chains. This place here is called 10 Billion Coffee. It's one of the many ultra-cheap coffee chains competing with brands like Mega MCG Coffee and Starbucks Korea. And this is what surprises a lot of foreigners. A standard iced Americano here costs about 1,900 won. That's roughly 95 pence in the UK, or about $1.20 odd in the US. And this isn't a tiny coffee either. Koreans usually drink large iced Americanos, even in winter. Seriously, you'll see people drinking iced coffee when it's snowing outside. What's interesting is that Korea didn't always have this kind of cafe culture. Over the last couple of decades, it exploded, and now cafes are part of daily life here. People study in cafes, work in cafes, meet friends in cafes. Honestly, sometimes it feels like little cafes are Korea's second living room. Anyway, that's basically my morning routine done. Wake up, head downstairs, grab a nice coffee, and start the day. Simple, but very Korean.
Thank you for the video. And then we'll move on to the next question. What is one thing about doing business in Korea that nobody warned you about?
I think one thing that no one kind of warns you about is how important business culture is here in Korea. And what I mean by that is that, you know, there's a certain way, what I've noticed is like how companies like, or maybe their initial impression of you. So if I go up to them and I think the initial is that, okay, if I'm meeting you for the first time, you know, like how you give a business card,
yeah,
you know, how you salute to them.
Kind of.
And it's not like in a very like, oh, this guy's a boss. No, they also do the same. They reciprocate the same behavior. So I think all of those things is something that no one really tells you. So, you know, if I can't just go up to somebody and just be like, oh, hi. But it's like the hi is done through a business card exchange. So I think those are kind of things that you never know about. Or maybe even if you know about those things, you underplay it because you're like, I saw this on YouTube. It can't be like this. I know it is really like that.
Yeah.
And what is another thing is that I think that companies, regardless of the stature that you have achieved, let's say in your own home countries, I think here it's level 0. Here it's like, who are you as a person? And do I want to do business with you as a person, not with the company per se? So I think those are kind of things that it makes sense, but you're made aware of when you're actually doing that kind of transaction here.
Yeah, I think also they're very visuals. Like they would like to see some PPTs or like some images or some. They really like to, when you do meetings with them, they really appreciate that you bring in a lot of papers and a lot of like
Aid.
Yeah, exactly. You agree with that?
Yeah, I would. More or less, right?
More or less.
Yeah, because it depends on the industry. It depends on, but yeah,
That's true.
especially because when you're having the first initial meeting, I think some sort of a visual aid, such as like PowerPoint slides, and especially when you're having a meeting in English, right? Because they might speak the language, but it may not be their first language. So there's always that. It helps. It brings in the comfort, right? When they can actually see.
Definitely. And I think that like just with our recent meeting that we just even had, I don't know if I should say the company name, but we just recently had a meeting with one of the companies. And, we had our initial meeting. We decided that we're going to do a partnership. And then they wanted to have a follow-up meeting. But I think what they didn't expect is that I prepared what we are going to do in advance. And so, they were like, I told them like, oh, I'm going to present. And they're like, oh, but we've already seen your pitch. I said, no, it's not the pitch, it's the plan. And so as I went through it, they were just, I think, very impressed. Oh, he's already planned what we're going to do. So I think that kind of preparedness, I think they really like it. Of course, if your material can be in Korean, nothing like it. Unless you're 100% sure that they speak fluent English, that's probably the only exception, I would say. Other than that, have materials in the language.
I think it also helps for them to present it to their bosses.
100%, yes.
Makes it a lot more convenient for them. Makes their job easier. Then there's higher chance of you guys, doing the partnership or working together.
I can add a little bit maybe more to Ravi's sentiments. I think one thing that's incredibly important for global startups or entrepreneurs who are coming into Korea to understand is the different way people engage, especially if they're engaging with you for the first time. But the way you go about it beyond exchanging business cards, which by the way, actually is something dying out in the West. Business cards, nobody carries business cards anymore. But here you have to come prepared with business cards wherever you go. Is that the company, especially in complex technology, which is like deep tech, which is a bit ironic actually, is that they're investing or they are interested in engaging with you first. They want to build a trust with you first, and then the technology second. And what that means is after you exchange your business cards, get ready to go for dinners, for drinks, very, very quickly. And, shoju is a very big, it's a very famous drink here. So drinking sessions with copious amounts of shoju. This is part and parcel of doing business in Korea. And if you can win the trust of the person you're trying to engage with over a couple of shots of shoju, you'll close the deal, most likely.
And one of the things that I noticed, which is very strange, and I don't know if everyone has gone through that as well, is that just because someone tries to destroy your product, that doesn't mean that they don't like your product. So, when I was trying to explain initially to many companies, many investors about what we're doing, I was always met with like a resounding go back to your country kind of vibe, like, Ravi, this is not going to work here. And but what they were trying to do is they were trying But what they were trying to do is they were trying to test me, like, oh, does this person hold his ground? And I think many months later, that same company is now doing a partnership with us. The same investor is investing in us because maybe they thought that, oh, I think like, that's what I want to say. Like, just because someone says something ill or odd about your product, I'm not saying go back to your country kind of thing, but something like, hey, this product, like, how are you different? Like, there's already trip.com, booking.com, there's this, there's that. How are you different? And then if you're not able to, let's say they're not able to understand it, that does not mean that they don't like your product. And I think that that's something that took me a lot of time to learn, because in India, if I don't like your product and I say I don't like it, it means I don't like it. It's not that there's a hidden agenda. It means I just don't like it. But I think here, it's not just because someone gives you a negative feedback, that's not negative all the time. So maybe someone comes across that same situation and they're like, oh my God, this person hates my product. No, they're just trying to understand the product by testing you.
New question. Has Korean culture surprised you in a way that has changed like the way you live, the way you work?
Very like interesting every day, like because as I told you before that I try to live like a Korean. I mean, even though right now I still don't speak Korean, but I just try to be as natural as it can be.
Do you mean you drink ice American?
Yeah.
Coffee culture.
Coffee culture.
culture.
Do you see like is there one day you go on the street and you don't see people like literally getting their ice Americano around all the
Even
time?
in winter.
Even in
winter.
Even
That's
in the winter.
not imaginable in Europe.
Not
That does
at
not
all.
exist elsewhere.
In fact, you can't even buy iced coffee.
No.
Even from a cafeteria, you can't buy iced coffee drink.
I got some Korean friends. They went to Paris and they asked for ice Americano, and then the guy just gave him hot coffee and then put some ice in there, and they were like, "What is that?" No, that does not exist.
Yeah, I think the coffee culture definitely surprising.
Yeah.
Everyone's having their like 1 liter jugs of Americano and then they try to sip it all through the day. And yeah, that's something very new for me.
Yeah.
And cheap.
And then
And cheap, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The coffee is
Yeah.
so cheap.
Oh, and also how you separate the trash.
Oh, yeah.
The
that's
recycle.
Yeah,
Like
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I can still not get used to even KSGC people. They have slippers in the office.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
cannot-
I'm wearing that too, you know? I mean, not now, but...
You did, yeah. I saw you changed. You changed
yeah,
that.
that changed me a lot.
Yeah,
Slippers.
I cannot get used to it. Like wearing slippers at work, like that'd be so weird in France. I could never.
After lunch, you also brush your teeth.
Oh.
Yeah, that one for Westerner, I think like it's
no, that
already
was
like
just-
mind blown. Yeah.
That was shocking to me.
Yeah, that was shock.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, other question about KSGC. What KSGC made possible for you that you think you would have not have done without it?
I mean, everything. I've engaged with Korea before. I'd come and gone with previous companies, but within a very narrow segment of the business world. So as my own startup coming into Korea, I wouldn't have known where to go, who to engage with, VCs, ACs, the whole package. It was very comprehensive. So I've been, again, in previous companies as an employee, I've engaged with kind of soft landing programs before, but nothing compares to the level of comprehensive, like how comprehensive this program is. So it's a complete package for an organization or a startup who would like to come to Korea and start a business from A to Z.
Yeah, totally agree. And for me, I just would like to shout out to my fellow Asian and ASEAN startup applicants to the program, because I think like it's very hard for the Asian to really like come to Korea, even though it's in the same continent. KSGC is really like a Korean government endorsement to you guys. So yeah, just don't think twice, just apply.
Okay, I'll put up the next video of the founder's video, Ravi's video that we're gonna see going to the gym.
Yes! Good morning. This is the best part of working in Pangyo. Whenever we're going to work, we get to see some beautiful views. Get to do this walk 10 minutes from Pangyo Station. And you see that building up there in blue in front of you? And that's our office. It's 7 in the morning. We hit the gym while we can. Some days it's not possible to go to the gym, but today's not one of those days.
Thank you for that video. Next question. We have, if you had to describe Korea to someone who's never been to Korea in one sentence, what would you say? That's hard.
I think I eat the most delicious food in my life in Korea. It's a country which has very, very delicious food. I really like it here.
One word, quickly, 3 seconds.
No,
One.
you first.
Challenging.
Challenging, life-changing.
Oh, that's deep.
That's a tough
edit
one to
that,
follow.
guys.
Okay, maybe we can do that to Paul as well.
Okay.
3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. The first word that comes up.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken and beer.
Chicken and beer.
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
That's for me. But like, yeah, I got to like Korea through entertainment. So that's my word.
Bali, Bali.
Bali, Bali.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Bali. Bali, Bali. It's even, here's a fact, it's even in their country code. 82.
Yeah.
Right?
I never thought about that.
right?
Never thought. Yeah,
Tiny.
it is true though.
Maybe we need to explain what that
Yeah.
It's just that, the phone code is like plus 82 when you write down the Korean number, and that's like 82. So if you say it quick, it can sound like pari pari pari, and then pali pali, and that's
And
like
then you text
And
your
Bali-
friend 82828282. Pali pali pali.
Do you do
Don't
that?
you do that?
I don't. But
I'm too old to do that.
That's more maybe
yeah,
Gen Z.
Yeah.
maybe
But Bali Bali itself means it means
82.
fast.
yeah,
Means
fast. It's
hurry up.
fast.
But nothing in Korea is fast. That's what I've noticed. Like, everything is slow. So,
Be quiet, please.
No, I don't agree. I think paperwork for foreigners are slow, but then a lot of things are fast. Like delivery's fast. You can get some chicken and beer at the Hangang within 5 minutes, which is like
restaurants are also very fast. You
Yeah.
sit there and the food comes.
yeah. And then you stay like 30 minutes and they're like, hey, can you move on for the next person? Yeah. No, I think some things are really fast, but then some things take longer.
What was the question?
So what is the moment of your KSGC year that you will remember for a long time?
the racism. Yeah. No, I think for me personally, I think what I would really remember are the friendships, and it may sound like such a simple answer, but really it's the friendships that will stick out, because everybody goes through the program, right? But it's the friendship that lasts, like all the people here, and now you've been able to build everybody wants to be successful, right? But I think when you have friends who are going to cheer for you, I think that's different. Like another startup CEO who's cheering for your success, I don't know if that's possible in other places. So only when you're in the same environment, then it happens. So for me, that's very memorable.
I think our Jeju first trip last year was
APAC.
pretty memorable. Going to the sea, having a swim all together.
Yeah, losing my
That was like really
glasses.
nice. Yeah.
I got thrown in the water with my glasses on, and then boom, it's gone. So I was blind for a day, and then I regained my vision.
What about you?
Yeah, I
What's
think
remember?
it's like in our year, as well. Like right now I still talk to, I think like 20% of the people in our year. Like friendship really lasts that long. Yeah, and like surprisingly, there's also a lot of problem that I bring to them, like consult with them. Like I just can genuinely call them like close friend.
Yeah, because we go through the same problems and the same good and bad things, so that we can consult each other to see what we feel about it. What do you think of your year, Shamal? Yeah. Did you keep the contact with all the other ones?
I went to some of the weddings.
Wow.
See, so it did work out, right?
Yeah.
The people
For
are the
them.
best part.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I would say that there's a particular reason, and again, I've done this kind of similar kind of soft landing programs before. So we also have to give credit to KSGC and the environment that they created for us, which is conducive of camaraderie Because, again, I've done similar kind of programs in the past, soft landing programs, and it doesn't always work out well. Why? Because there's a lot of egos involved. It's for founders who are starting their company, who believe that they're, best things in sliced bread. So these people will be very protective of what they're doing, and it doesn't create a very comfortable environment. Whereas here, I found in our year, and we've seen from Oyo, and even, you mentioned it was a bit chaotic, but you're going to weddings, so that means that means that you built the camaraderie, and I think that's a testament to the way the program has been run by KSGC.
And then now we're gonna put another founders video on screen.
Hi guys, and my another day in Seoul. Yesterday I just went to the dermatologist, like a clinic. I did the eye rejuran, I'm not so sure, but today I also have to do another meeting with the very important persons. So I have to go to see them with all these bruises and swollen. And of course, I didn't pay for it. I just have to do the video review and then get the dermatologist services. And also working at a cafe, like Dula Juice, before going to that important meeting later. Okay, and it's quite sunny right now. See a lot of hills. I mean, there's so many hills in Seoul. Guys, I have to look at Never Map. I don't know how to reach. See you later.
Thank you for that. Maybe you can tell us what comes next for your company now in Korea, and maybe internationally if you have a few words you want to say about your company. Not too long.
Yeah, so for Taste Vision Korea, we right now do the collaboration with KYOOL, which is like fusion and traditional Korean snack at the same time, and we will do something in the area of the snack, like Thai Korean.
Sounds good.
For the second one, it's like you've never heard about this before, but there is like a Korean pet premium food company. So you also can use our flour, like Taste Better flour, in the premium Korean pet food. Yeah, right now we're testing it with one brand.
Wow.
Yeah.
So our product, in a nutshell, is not B2C, and it's not a very simple product, which means that our lead times are very long. The type of customers we have take a very long time to close. But then deal sizes are relatively large. So we've been blessed, again, through this program to finish off on a very high note and secure a very large pilot program, which we will start doing the marketing and brand awareness leading up to September. And we will use that as our launchpad. And essentially as mentioned, Korea for us now, through the program, we realized that we would like to build, validate, and make Korea our R&D hub, global R&D hub to manufacture, because very fast lead time for manufacturing and a very strong focus on AI itself, and then start focusing on the European market as an end customer down the line by end of this year.
Okay.
So that's us.
Sounds good.
And for us, it's also very simple. We just like to help as much as learners in Korea and also worldwide to help them to learn the language. That's a very simple goal for us. And more strategically, actually, we're switching our HQ to Korea. We're moving here. And we realized that Korea is an amazing place to develop And because it's so competitive, you have to make very great product. Now it becomes also similar to Ash's case. So his case that our R&D hub will be here, our HQ will be here, and we will build here and export to the global. So that's what is next for us.
Thank you. And last, Ravi?
Yeah, I think for us, the goal is to get out or release our app or our application and, let users say that, oh, Korea is my home. When I get more people to say that, I think that's what I'm aiming for sometime this year, that, people really start to enjoy the beauty of Korea. Yeah.
Okay.
Massive goal, but let's go for it.
Very big goal. But because there are more foreigners every year in Korea, that
of course,
might
last year
very
with the highest number of foreign travelers coming to Korea, and I think it's only going to increase. So
it might be the hardest question, but if you can say briefly what was the difficulty and what was the best part of the KSGC program for you guys, because the people that are going to watch might be the people that apply this year. So if you want to tell them some advice,
I can add something. I think, as Ravi mentioned, the program has changed and morphed into something. So on the one hand, there are some elements, for example, for our year was the first year that didn't have intern support. That was at the beginning challenging, but I think the byproduct of this was that it challenged us. And I felt like I want to move faster. I want to achieve faster, and achieve it myself and not rely. Of course, the KSGC team members themselves were always there to support us, but realistically, we didn't have someone helping us directly. But I think, yes, that's all. Yeah. I think I got the message across. So shut them down. Yeah, that's all.
The best thing of the KSGC, you will simply get Korean government endorsement if you got passed to all this approval, like in each stage. That's the best thing. I think just extending to Ash's answer about the intern, actually it also creates double standard for our year. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I can say that. So maybe it's good that you don't have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean by double standard?
Yeah.
What I mean is that like there are two types. The one company can get two interns, but another company can only get one intern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like that two intern can also have a preference whether to work heavily on your
they share companies.
Yeah, they share company. One intern for two company, but one company can have two intern and another company can have one intern. So it's kind of really like chaotic.
Okay.
It was kind of chaotic.
Like last year. Yeah. It is very hard for the program to really make everyone happy about everything. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
How honest should I be?
I think
we can cut.
I think we're already like very honest.
I think in terms of the worst, I don't want the difficult part. I think it's not difficult part. So my difficult part, I have to give a little bit tiny 10-second backstory, is that, this program is phrased in such a way that it's like an entry program, right? So I think like the initial expectation is that, I got selected, introduce me to Samsung. And so, I think that that's the intention that many companies have, right? That, I got selected, introduce me to the president of Korea tomorrow. So I think that maybe that's probably a fault on our side, that maybe, I think our expectations are too high immediately, because the program length is so short that I think we feel like there's no time to waste. So I don't know if that's bad or good. In terms of, let's say, difficulty, I would say is that I think that there was, because the startups want to move very fast, we sometimes forget that they're also the person who's helping us. They're not a startup. They're also working in a company, and a company has office hours. And so, we're text something at 9, 10 at night, and we're like, we need this, but we don't get a response to this.
Yeah.
I'm also done. The good thing is we're here. That's the good thing.
Everyone's hurt now. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. The best thing is if you win it, I think you'll agree. That's the best part of it. Yeah. Okay, you pass it, you win. Yeah. Well, so that's the good part. And the toughest part is, for me, I think, like business-wise is different, but I think, this is like whole challenge, and you have to prepare, you have to submit documents, you have to pitch on the stage. I think that was kind of tough. Like, you're like a stressful, am I going to win? And everyone is great. Like, everyone is doing a really great job. So that's the toughest part. But again, the best part, if you win it, that's the best part. So yeah, simple.
So money is the best part, is what you mean?
Yeah, obviously that's a very good part too. But also, winning. Yeah, that's.
So Shubha, what was it for you? Like, what do you think are the pros and the difficulties of the program?
For me, it was a bit unique. I think when I came to KSGC, I only had an idea, and I didn't have a product. I didn't have a team. I didn't have anything. So I think it was weird of like what I thought I learned in the US, and then coming over here and then trying to learn like the kind of different styles of how it works. And then I think it's hard to get people to respect you, because I came when I was like 25 and I just had an idea and I have no results and I have nothing. So it's like hard to tell people like, oh, I can build this. And I don't think many people really believed I could build it. And I think until I built it, then it's easier for people to understand like what I'm trying to build, where I'm trying to go. I think the concept was really hard for a lot of people, I think, unless they're in the industry. So I think that was the hardest part about the program overall.
Yeah, I have to agree, because all startups, they don't have some physical things all the time. Sometimes they just have an idea. So like selling an idea is difficult when you don't have anything to show, but like you still have to convince people that your idea is a good idea.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially if you're 25.
Yeah.
All right, I will put the final video on screen, and then we can move on to the next part.
Okay, let's say hi, guys. Hi. Okay, thank you.
So going on, after the questions, now we're going into the games. So we're gonna test what you've actually learned about Korea. So for the first game, I'm gonna give you some sentences. You have these little X and O's, and you're gonna tell me if this is Korean or this is not Korean, right? So first sentence is, the newest hire handles the coffee orders. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think everyone got that one. Being 5 to 10 minutes late is acceptable. 1, 2, 3. Will you say yes? Is it acceptable?
If you tell the one that you go to the meeting with,
that you're gonna be late. But I think usually late is not an option in Korea. Like even being on the time is not an option.
Yeah, I just wanna show it like that. Otherwise, people will just like, it's fine.
Okay, splitting the bill down to the exact cent. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
interesting.
Yes. Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay.
When you work and like you're going on a meeting and then you have a meal, usually one of the two pays the whole thing.
Right.
And then maybe you'll get the coffee order or something.
Right, or next time.
Yeah.
Because it gets quite uncomfortable.
No, but even with like friends that have around the same age, like one of them will pay the meal and one will pay the coffee or pay next time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Do you want to comment?
No comments.
You say, let's meet soon without actually planning to. Okay,
All
1,
right.
2, 3. What do you do? Also this? Yeah.
I only
Oh.
said no because I don't ever do that.
You don't do that.
But
Okay,
Are you
wait.
more- are you more-
You're not like 100% Korean.
Yeah.
Because you have a different background.
Just do the
Yeah,
wrong
he's
choices. We
American.
thought you would win. But you're always doing the wrong one.
hey,
He's doing it on purpose, I think.
no, I am not.
After overtime, the team dinner is optional, but not really optional. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that happens a lot. They can like, oh no, you can go home. But actually, I don't think you can really go
It's not
home.
optional. In Asia, never. No matter how ill, tired, disinterested I am, I go.
I go, yeah.
I go. But in Europe, back in the UK or in Europe, you basically 9 to 5, 9 to 6, whatever it is, then you switch off and you say, do not bother me, don't contact me. The only people who are involved in work are engineers, technicians who are like keeping the system running. Everyone else goes home. So yeah.
Next questions. Debating equals normal conversation.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Are you serious?
All right.
I think we shouldn't let it play. I think we should.
Paul has
I'm not
different
asking
friends.
about you. I'm asking about Korean people in general.
Paul has different set of friends. That's all I notice.
Maybe so. Maybe I've been hanging out with you guys too long.
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah, okay.
No, usually you avoid any like political, religious, or whatever. Anything that's
sure.
like open to debate, you avoid
sure.
it in
No, that's true.
conversation.
That's true.
Yeah, even with your
Stand
friends.
corrected, yes.
Yeah.
So I think I find it more difficult to have a debate in Korea than,
Yes.
for example, in the US, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
where I grew up.
Agree.
Right?
Okay, next one is you ask someone's age and job fairly early on. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh.
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 Okay.
Wrong.
Interesting.
Was it wrong? Okay. I didn't know
Why
that.
do you think so?
Maybe this is something personal. I mean, I would never in a million years.
You're not Korean yet, that's
I'm
why.
not Korean enough yet, so maybe. And I also like to draw that line as well from a receiving end. So I don't try not to allow that to kind of
But I
enter
think
my-
more than like
But
job
anyway,
and age, I think it's MBTI.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
If that question came up, then I would have gone.
MBTI.
Because
No,
that's
actually, no. I think the age is really like
Their age is
because
very
that's
early.
that's how you know how to address the person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you literally ask the age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you can tell that that person is older than you.
Yeah.
But then
Oh, yeah.
sometimes you would ask like,
Yeah.
Okay. What about middle-aged woman? I'm sorry, but maybe cut you. Really? I mean, seriously, you don't ask
what do
that.
you mean by
No, it's not you. It's me. Okay. Hopefully, cut you. Okay.
All right. Next question. You greet with a hug or a kiss? I think that's very easy.
yes.
Don't do that. Not according to you. Okay.
I don't do that.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's very easy. I think everyone got that right. Yeah. Then never touch anyone on the. Never. touch.
Handshaking is okay.
Handshaking
Like
is
in
fine.
business
Yeah,
context.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Okay, next one. You bring toilet paper as a housewarming gift. Maybe some people might know
Okay.
or not.
Is it culturally accepted?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Yep. Yeah. Do you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, my previous company, my boss did it. And of course, I didn't say anything. And so I was just like, okay.
Okay.
And then he told me, oh, this is a very polite gift to give somebody for a housewarming.
Yeah.
That's how I knew.
Yeah.
But high quality one, like quilted and like very nice.
I don't
like
remember
premium,
right now.
premium. Not like the sandpaper style.
Let's go.
Otherwise, I might be late for a few days to work if that was the case.
Oh my god. Yeah. All right. Next one is also very easy, I think. Wearing slippers at work. We already talked about that. So 1, 2, 3. Very acceptable. Yes. Yeah. You never find that weird? No, I guess
But
if
with
you do that.
socks. Which is also sometimes quite, which is also a little weird as well.
With
Wearing
socks,
slippers
right?
with socks.
That's true.
But that's very common. Slippers with socks.
Yeah, I thought it was only German, but now it's also
No.
Fellow Germans.
Fellow Germans, I'm sorry.
Prepared. Any 2026 KSGC,
Yeah,
they've got
you
their
can-
socks prepared.
yeah.
Bring them here.
Bring your
Wear slippers and socks.
You'll be very welcome.
Slippers with socks, yeah.
Yeah. And last one, okay, being very expressive with reactions. Like, wow. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's kind of like,
Iffy, I mean, it really depends.
I
But
can
mean,
get both answers, I think.
I think
both are right.
after some shoju, then yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the shoju, no.
What do you think, Shamal?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's, it looks like you you can imagine you killed someone's parents, that's how they would react.
Ooh.
So, that's very bleak.
Yeah.
Something dramatic.
Do we have to go that route?
Something very dramatic.
Very dramatic.
Yeah.
All right. Put a video on the screen, which is like welcoming words. And so there's a sentence that I want you guys to follow. So you will hear it first.
So my question is, are we going to learn from Macron this? Because that sounds...
Good point.
Maybe what we can have is Macron say it once and then Paul can say it a second time.
Okay.
And then you will follow.
All right.
How's that? All right? Okay.
Okay.
Put us the video.
안녕하십니까 여러분.
I can do that very well.
따뜻한 원대 감사드립니다.
Yeah, that was it. Okay.
Wow.
안녕하십니까 여러분. 따뜻한 환대 감사드립니다.
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
Yeah, you guys take a paper. Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah. Okay, you can look at your camera and say it.
Okay. 안녕하십니까 여러분. 따뜻한 환대 감사합니다.
Okay.
안녕하십니까 여러분. 따뜻한 환대 감사드립니다.
안녕 하시니까 여러분. 따뜻한 환대 감사드립니다.
안녕 하십니까 여러분. 따뜻한 하원대 감사드립니다. It's harder. It's hard. With writing here. Look at that.
Good job. I'm not sure about the
Better than
Let me
my
think.
expectations.
Yeah. Shamal, do you want to try?
Oh yeah.
Go, Tim.
Yeah, try while we're voting.
Oh, gosh.
Put on the spot. Wait a second.
안녕하십니까 여러분. 따뜻한 환대 감사드립니다. Amazing.
Last game. We're gonna have you put headphones on, and then one of you will start, and we'll have 30 seconds to say as many Korean words as you know. It's okay? Can you hear me? Not really.
I can't hear you.
What? Okay.
Well, we don't really hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Perfect. Let's go. We start with
Okay.
Ravi. As
Okay.
many words as you can in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Let's go.
Go. Okay. 안녕하십니까 여러분. 따뜻한 환대 감사드립니다. 안녕하세요. 저는 라비입니다. 인도 사람입니다. 잠시만요. 여기 어서 오세요. How do we say expensive? 비싸요. 싸요.
Okay.
All right.
Not too bad.
Well, I mean, I don't really.
Yeah,
I've already done it.
Except
Okay,
if
let me
he
hear
wants.
this music.
He wants to hear
I think music is
Like it.
All right.
Really,
right.
you can't hear anything.
All right, Elio. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. 이름이 뭐예요? 어이요예요. 여러분 안녕하십니까? 안녕하세요. 꽃 보러 보고 싶어요. 사랑해요. 죄송합니다. 잠시만요. 화장실 어디예요? 이거 뭐예요? 이거 저는 나는 that's all.
Okay.
All right.
Ashley?
Let's go. Just the standard stuff out the way first, I guess. 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. Copy, which is a thing I get every single day. I say copy 주세요. And then
quick.
Shin country. Shin. Okay.
I didn't say that.
All right. Okay.
He was like, okay.
Let's move on.
All right.
Okay.
Denise?
Okay. Okay, go. 안녕하세요. 누구세요? 여기세요. 집에 좋아. 사랑. 멋있지. 김치찌개. Okay. 사람. 좋아. 안 좋아. Startup. AA. Ice Americano. Which is yeah. Tart latte.
What did you say?
Tart latte. That's the
Okay.
last one.
Okay.
It's
Oh, that's
Very
good. Music was good.
So, jury has deliberated. We agreed that first place, the actual ranking, is Ravi's first place.
Oh!
And second place is Oyo. Third place is Denise. And fourth place is Ashley. You have 4 cards containing some prizes that we don't know which one is which, right? One of them holds 10 million won.
Oh my God.
And then one holds 3 million won, and then one holds 1 million won, and the last one is a ramyeon package. So,
oh my god.
yeah.
Wow.
So the ranking
so
that you just
excited.
got give you the order that you can pick the cards.
Oh my God.
Yes. So I will let Ravi pick the first card. Don't look at it. Just take the card out and put it on the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did
Pick
you put
one of the
that my
cards.
way?
No. You can just like whatever. Choose one.
Oh, this one.
Okay. And then let you pick one. All right. Please.
Okay. I bet there's ramen here. So I would guess 10 million.
Bali.
That's yours.
I will have you reveal your card first.
Hey, camera, are you ready? One more. Oh my god!
Hey!
Yes!
It's party time.
Fine.
And then I have Ravi discover his card next.
Okay. This is funny, man. This is stressful.
And the last two. So one has the ramen, one has the 10 million. Can you reveal at the same time, maybe?
Okay.
Okay, you have 5 seconds, guys, okay? This is all about chances, okay? 5 seconds, Ashley, you get to pick. Do you want to swap or stay? Swap. Go, swap, please.
But
please,
I don't agree.
Again, whether you agree or not.
She doesn't want to agree.
No, but you're not the host.
I'm telling you,
She doesn't have to. I'm okay to swap to make it
I'm telling you
interesting.
that has the 10 million.
Which one? Really?
Yes.
I better believe in myself.
Let's see now.
All right. So on the count of 3, you both reveal at the same time to the camera. Okay.
Now I'm hoping you win. Let's go, Ashley!
Let's go.
Okay.
1.
Woo! 3.
3.
No!
Good job.
Oh my God,
Good
the only
job.
girl.
Smile, bro. You got
Yeah, but all right, I can give you this first.
It's all right. All right, thank you.
A special award. All right. Can you hold this with you?
It matches your shirt as well.
Yeah.
You can wear it as a hat.
Yeah.
On your way home.
Old head.
Noodle hair.
Noodle hair.
Okay, so to our jury and to our companies and to everyone watching, this is what Korea looks like from the inside. And while tonight's prizes might be symbolic, through KSGC you do have real prizes, and you guys went through that also. And the opportunity behind these programs are real. And also this year's program is launched, so the application until 17th of June, is it?
17th of
Yeah.
June.
So is there like anything you want to say to support or like advise this company this year before they apply?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it. You will do it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Take a leap of faith.
Take a leap of faith.
But on a serious note, on a serious note, what I would like to say to the participants is know your reason of why you really want to enter Korea. I think that will really help them shape their entire application process. Really know why you want to enter Korea.
If you really want to come to Korea, it's the only program that you can apply, and it will really accelerate your time and step and all the procedures. Yeah, just why not?
Okay. Dan, let's finish.
I was going to say one thing.
I think we
Oh, sorry.
Out. No, one thing that I wanted to add, I guess, towards the end is, for the future applicants, I think one of the greatest things, for the entrepreneurs who wish to come to Korea, is that that there's a lot of support from the government level, right? I've been with multiple startups myself, and I've traveled around the world to tackle the overseas market. And I think Korea has, hands down, number one, government support for the global entrepreneurs. And what that means for you is that, of course, it's you at the end of the day that has to really push forward and know why you want to come to Korea and what's your purpose, and know your market and everything. But at the end of the day, you're not alone in that aspect, especially in foreign country, especially with K-Star Grand Challenge. It's a very foreigner-friendly program. So I highly encourage you to apply, and let's explore the market together.
Oh, very good word of ending. Shamal, you want to say one last word?
I think if you can do it in Korea and you can succeed here, you can pretty much succeed in any other country. So it's a pretty good country for that.
Okay, that's a very good word of ending. Thank you everyone for today and your time. And we hope having another episode maybe. Don't hesitate to like the video and comment your thoughts. And also if you want to contact any of the companies here, we'll put on the screen their email contacts. And also if you have any question about the program, we'll also put the email of contact for KSGC. And don't hesitate to participate in the program or ask any of those startups what their experience was. Yeah. And thank you everyone for today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.